Joseph William Mallord Turner, the greatest British artist of his generation, responded to Byron, Rome, and Napoleon in his paintings. He portrayed Byron's alter ego directly, Childe Harold, in a generic, idealized Italian landscape. Turner, too, travelled to Rome a few years before Byron, and painted views of the classical ruins, the Forum, the Tiber, and also the Colosseum. He too was obsessed with the figure of Napoleon, and for much the same reasons. Turner painted an imaginary view of Napoleon surveying the fiery ruins of a lost empire. It's not a particularly good painting, though historically it provides evidence of the hold Napoleon had on the English imagination. He even painted it by moonlight, exactly the view which inspired Byron in Canto 4 of Childe Harold. Far better as a painting is his Dido building Carthage, now in the National Gallery in London. Turner exhibited this painting at the Royal Academy. He never sold it, and finally bequeathed it after his death to the newly founded National Gallery. It depicts the mythical prince of Troy and future founder of Rome, Aeneas, with his lover Dido, queen of Carthage. Dido is showing Aeneas her new city. Turner imagines a fantastic classical city being built on the banks of a river at sunrise. Cranes lead our eye to the figures of Aeneas and Dido. In the myth, as told in the Aeneid, the epic poem written by Virgil in the 1st century AD, Aeneas and Dido become lovers. However, the gods force Aeneas to leave Dido in order to continue his journey, because he is destined to found another city, one to rival and surpass the glory of Troy and atone for its destruction. This city, of course, is Rome. But in time, in history, not myth, Rome's armies would annihilate Carthage. The city, built in legend by Dido, would be razed to the ground by real Roman legionaries. Byron's pattern is evident here again, and Turner knew it. It's evident too in other buildings which survive in Rome, from a future of which Byron could have had no idea. Mussolini tried to recreate an Italian empire in the 1920s and 30s, one to rival Rome's and Napoleon's and Britain's. Beyond the ancient centre, Mussolini had more room to realise his own fascist architectural vision in a quarter of the city known as EUR. His architects designed a new Colosseum, the Palazzo della Civiltà, a pristine, square, clean, modernist version of its bloody, imperial predecessor. Next to it stands the church of St. Peter and St. Paul, fascism's version of St. Peter's in the Vatican. In this way, both the church and the classical past were to be incorporated into a fascist present. Mussolini's empire ended with his execution at the hands of the mob in Milan in 1944. His dream was ignominious, troubling our consciences in ways that Napoleon's memory does not, but evident still to confirm Byron's pattern. So what now? What of our future? What would another Byron feel faced with the ruins of our amphitheatres, our Wembleys and Super Bowls and Olympic stadia? The British Empire fast being put together as Byron was writing in the early 19th century, was to be lost by the middle of the 20th. America's empire has been more economic than territorial, but it is now arguably in decline. Where are we in Byron's cycle? Or are we in any position at all to break what he saw as the inexorable, unalterable pattern of history?